we're good. There's a rock in there. Oh, I told you can't be a sissy with these things. Oh my gosh, it's a hard day. But things are getting a lot better here at SWI Florida. And there's been changes that we've been able to implement. And the biggest change that we made was who works for the company. That may sound a little bit harsh, but sometimes you get in and you find out that the people you're working with really don't have the skill set or the technical abilities to get the job done. And unfortunately, that's one of the ways that the government hampers us, is they tell us that we can't try people out because we have things like workers' comp that we need to deal with. It's not a try before you buy. There's no return policy. Basically, it means that one of you has to decide that it's not working out and part ways. And that's what happened this week. We had two people that were, for lack of a better word, they were the cause of most of my headaches that you saw in the video. As a result of that, they decided that they were not thriving in our environment, and I would have to agree that they were not thriving in our environment. It was not good for either one of us. They were stressed because they couldn't get the job done that I needed to get done. I was stressed because they weren't getting the job done correctly, and both of us went home at the end of the night. None of us were happy, and that's not a good situation. And sometimes it's best just to part ways. Everybody isn't always a fit. There's nothing wrong with admitting that. They admitted that they weren't a fit and decided that they needed to go back to doing something different, and I agreed with them. I think we both kind of came to that realization at the same time. I was not surprised. I'd got word that they were looking for another job, and secretly over the weekend I was hoping that they would get hired somewhere else, because that makes it easy on both of us. If they've got a place to go and I don't need them anymore, then we can both leave on good terms, and that's the best way to leave it. Another thing that makes it difficult is when people overstate their abilities and you can't try them out to make sure that they've got the abilities. And that's what we had a lot of that. We had a lot of, I've got the ability to get this done, and then it came down to the brass tacks and they didn't have the ability. And I think that's why you guys saw us fight so much to get some of these jobs done. Since they left last Monday, last week was a good week. I actually went to North Carolina, installed a gate for some people, and that went super smooth. I had a crew here in town working. That went super smooth, and we were able to get 3 jobs done in 1 week. I want to say for the record, that has never happened before. And 2 of those jobs I never went to. That is a good day. That is a very good day. It makes me very happy. So if you came here looking for a train wreck, there's no train wrecks this week. Only good vibes. Only peaceful good vibes. My chi is good. My aura is good. We're feeling good. We're looking good. Things are starting to come together. I had a lot of people on that video. They would say, well, Mark, you need better help. That's true. I need better help. But how do you find better help? And how do you know what better help is? How many people have you hired and they say they're really great, but they're not great? They're just not great because they're trying to get a job. They want to get paid, and you're trying to get somebody. And some of these people end up getting hired out of desperation. You're looking for people. You really need people. You're looking to fill the positions, so they get hired. They make it into your organization. The real test is what do you do once they're there? I like to err on the side of kindness and empathy, and really firing people is not my favorite thing to do. But when people aren't working out, you're not doing them a favor, you're not doing yourself a favor, and one of the things you run a risk of is running off the people that are working good in your organization. What I like to say is the donkeys will run off the stallions. We want an organization of stallions, and if you let the donkeys live there too long, they will spoil your stallions, and the stallions are going to leave because they're having to work twice as hard to clean up the mess of the donkeys, and it's not good for anybody. That's nothing against donkeys. I know that donkeys and mules work really hard, and they can pack and do all these other things. It's nothing about donkeys, so don't get me started on, but donkeys are really good. I get it. But in our organization, donkeys are no good. It's a metaphor, okay? It's a metaphor. So I wish them luck in their endeavors, but thank goodness they will not be parking my trailers in ditches and setting my posts incorrectly, because that was not good for my poor little heart. My poor little heart couldn't take it anymore. I think that I lost a couple days off the end of my life, maybe. I don't know, I got a pretty strong heart. The good thing is that we have the ocean here, and so when I need a little bit of therapy, I just pop down to the ocean and boom, we're good. And my wife appreciates that they found something else because she's tired of hearing me complain about it, and we're on a really good roll. It's Memorial Day week, and we're starting to get jobs done this week. Team's working great, and while we have less people now, the people that we have are actually qualified, and so they're thriving, and people are a lot less stressed, and we're just happier in general. As you can see, we're getting stuff done. We're building chain link gates. We're building this monstrosity over here. So we've got Bobby killing it here in the shop. We've got a special project there, a special project there, a special project over here. I've never been involved in a company that welded aluminum before, but now we're going to have two, because Wyoming's going to weld aluminum, and we've got an amazing welder out there that's going to be welding our aluminum. More on that channel. Definitely not going to want to miss that. And we're welding aluminum here because it's so prevalent in this salt-filled air. Everything that we do high-end needs to be aluminum so it lasts for a long time. So I'm really excited about all that and excited that we're able to put this stuff together. So as you build your team, what you're going to find is that if you're doing it right, you may not start off where you end up, but you start off with the people that you have and you work towards the people that you want. You're probably going to have to kiss a few toads before you get a prince, basically. So we don't always start off with the best people, the people that are, that's not even to say that the people aren't right, but the people that are the best fit for the position. People may have all the skills in the world, but they don't translate to what you're doing, and that's the case of what I think we had here. So what we're gonna do is we're finding the people along the way that have the skills that we're looking for, which will make the operation run smoother, and that's where we're at today. We started off with this group of team members that were there, and we had them when we needed them, but we're transitioning to team members that we want because they kind of naturally filter themselves out. Now we've got some guys that are really good at what they do. While they might not be where I want them to be in 3 months, they're doing amazing for only being a week or two into this. So things are already getting better, but we had to start where we were and grow in and give ourselves time to find the people that had the skills we were looking for. But here's the deal. There's still times when I feel like that piece of vinyl. What happened this week that made me feel like that piece of vinyl? I lost a huge job. We bid a job for the National Guard here in St. Augustine. Really nice job. Had a little bit of cable median barrier to protect from the traffic penetrating the fence, a little bit of chain link fence, and we were the low bidder and lost it. How did we lose it? Well, the government in their infinite wisdom decided that it would be better to pay another $130,000, yes, you heard me right, $130,000 more to the next contractor above me so that they could find somebody that had been in business for 3 years, because I didn't possess the necessary qualifications to bid that project. And you're wondering, now how did they find all that out? Well, one of the other bidders, there were 3 bidders, us and 2 others, and the highest bidder of all lodged a complaint, which is called a protest in the commercial construction world. Now, I've been in commercial construction now for about 25 years and have never had a protest on any bid. This is my very first one. $250,000 project. We bid $250,000, let's say. The next bid was $360,000, $370,000. I think it was just under $370,000. The highest bidder, that was like $399,000, just under $400,000, lodged a protest. Don't ask me why, because they were never going to get the job. Lodged a protest, protested the bid, said we didn't possess the necessary qualifications to bid the project, and got us kicked out. The bid stipulated that we had to have 3 years in business, and I can't use my Wyoming 3 years in business. I can only use the time in business here in Florida. So they kicked my bid out. I went to the next bidder over us, which was $130,000 more, and the state of Florida is going to pay $130,000 more to do something that I apparently am not qualified to do. Mind you, I've done these kinds of projects and have just as much qualifications as any one of the other bidders documented, but technical foul, we're out. So that wasn't good. Was not happy. That was a bad day. So when things like that happen, it's tough on me. Not only do I have the team that worries me sometimes, but I have things like that happen, and it can get a little bit overwhelming, and it's hard not to bring that home. We've talked about it on the channel before, but these are the things that if you drag all that stress home and your wife and your kids don't understand the sacrifices that are being made for your business, it's going to be really hard to get them on board. You have to have a very supportive spouse, and I think that anybody that is going to go into business, a supportive spouse is probably the most important thing you can have, because there's going to be tough times, and it's up to them sometimes to talk you off the ledge. Luckily, I've got Tanya. She's amazing. She's been through this before with me, and while she's not enjoying all of this per se, she understands that there will be a pot of gold hopefully at the end of the rainbow, and so she's along for the ride with me. Again, pretty hard to have a bad day when you just go to the ocean. So if I'm really stressed out, we'll walk on the beach, I'll take a little swim, and things work themselves out. So be somewhere you like too. If you're going through all this misery and you hate where you're at, it's gonna be even worse. I love where I'm at. I love being here in Florida, love everything about the Florida lifestyle, even the heat. So that makes it worth it to me. It makes all of this worth it. Now, so hopefully in 2 years, after we've been at this for 2 years and the challenge is up, things will be rolling well and we'll want to continue. I'm Mark with Successful Contractor. Hopefully you've enjoyed this week in review. And until next time, don't let those Kens and Karens get to you, and you have a good dang day.